If there's one thing that I love to see when it regards these woke corporations is whenever there seems to be internal fighting. And in this case, it's not technically internal fighting because the person doesn't work there anymore, but it's someone who used to work for BlackRock. So we have an article here from Reuters with a headline that reads, BlackRock Whistleblower is suing over the firing of them and shutdown of China monitoring tool. Now, we actually made a video talking about how BlackRock invested in corporations that are based in China that were actually blacklisted by the United States, and yet they still invested in them anyway. And now, apparently, this person tried to shut down those monitoring tools and essentially got fired over it. Now, when it comes to these ESG companies, man, do I love me a good juicy story. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm actually pretty interested to see what happens. So let's get into this article, guys, from Reuters. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says BlackRock was sued for $20 million by a whistleblowing former vice president who said that the company fired him after he objected to a colleague's self-dealing and was forced to shut down a search engine for monitoring client discussions about illegal investments, including in China. Now, this is pretty fucking huge, okay? And the reason why this is huge is because, again, they got caught funding companies that were blacklisted. I'm talking about Chinese corporations that fund nuclear weapons. That's the level of chaos we are talking about right now. BlackRock got caught funding those companies even though they were blacklisted by the United States. And it looks like this particular person, who was a high-ranking officer, right? He was a vice president within the company. That is no small fry. Suing for $20 million. Now, listen, $20 million, that's like what? $1 to BlackRock, you know what I mean? But still, it is a big enough lawsuit to start making waves throughout the industry. Now, I hope to see this more often, people being whistleblowers against companies like this, because if anything is going to bring down these corporations, it's not going to be money. It's going to be a certain kind of word of mouth that gets around about them and basically exposes them for what they're doing, because we all know that their money is dirty as hell. We know that. They make their money in interesting ways, and they invest them in even more interesting ways. It says, in a complaint on Saturday, Hamdan Azhar said that the world's largest asset manager ordered him in March of 2022 to stop work on TrendSpotter, which he had developed, and transfer his projects to RightPoint, where the husband of former boss Tiffany Perkins Munn worked. The Brooklyn resident said that he was fired 2 months later after objecting persistently to a $2 million contract that BlackRock awarded RightPoint before Perkins Munn's own resignation, calling it illegal self-dealing. He also said that his new boss, Riaz Hakim, refused to escalate concerns about client discussions that TrendSpotter could have tracked and whether its revelations align with BlackRock's public disclosures to investors and regulators. Well, we already know that they haven't been exactly too forward when it comes to some of their investments. Again, they don't necessarily want people to understand or know that they were investing in certain black market dealings, let's just say, right? When you are investing in companies that are making nuclear weapons in China, let's not pretend like you are any sort of symbol of absolute virtue, if you catch my drift. It says Azhar said that he began developing TrendSpotter in March of 2021 as a hackathon project that had received widespread attention and acclaim within BlackRock. The New York-based company ended March with $10.5 trillion of assets under a management team. A BlackRock spokesperson called Azhar's accusation completely meritless, which, let's be real, they're going to do that regardless, and said that Azhar was to let go for poor performance and unprofessional conduct. I highly doubt that's the case, okay? Because listen, if the person is a vice president, he obviously got there because he knew what he was doing, I would hope anyway, unless he was a DEI hire within a DEI company, but you know, you never know. But still, I would imagine that he probably knew what he was doing. And if he made something for a hackathon, that means the guy's pretty fucking intelligent. So you probably don't like people who can think for themselves. TrendSpotter's sole purpose was to summarize client interactions for marketing opportunities. The spokesman said it did not monitor investments. It had no compliance capabilities. Azar's lawyer, Subhan Tariq, rejected BlackRock's response. He said that before being fired, Azar had been preparing to become head of strategy at BlackRock AI Labs, underscoring his value to the company. You see what I'm saying? So they tried to make it seem as if he was unprofessional, did bad conduct, whatever the case may be. But I could see if someone is that smart, chances are they know what the fuck they're doing, and he probably would have been promoted to BlackRock AI Labs. You know, it would only make sense considering he made a program for a hackathon out of his own free time. I mean, the guy obviously is very smart, knows what he's doing. Last summer, the bipartisan House Select Committee of the Chinese Communist Party began seeking information on whether BlackRock and index provider MSCI facilitated investments into blacklisted Chinese companies. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. Let me just reference this for people who probably don't know, who probably haven't seen my previous videos. If you haven't, go check it out if you want more info. But here's a little cliff note. In April, the committee found that Wall Street, through index fund investments, channeled $6.5 billion in 2023 into 63 Chinese companies flagged by the U.S. government for supporting China's military or human rights abuses. The committee called the activity not illegal and urged Congress to pass laws restricting such investments. BlackRock and MSCI have said that they complied with U.S. laws. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, $6.5 billion fucking dollars into 63 different Chinese companies that the United States of America has flagged for a multitude of reasons. They could either be human rights abuses, where obviously you guys know that China still practices slavery to this day, or it could be China's military complex, which obviously you already know we don't want to be funding that. The fact that BlackRock's money is even going to these companies in the first place, how they are able to get away with this, I can't pretend to be knowledgeable enough to understand. I just don't. Like, if it's blacklisted by the United States of America, I would imagine that it's probably not best to invest money into these companies, and yet BlackRock has been able to do it with 63 of them, and nobody got in trouble. Azar said that he joined BlackRock in February 2020 as head of data science for global marketing. His lawsuit in New York State Court in Manhattan seeks $10 million each in compensatory damages and punitive damages for violating state labor law. Perkins Bunn and Hakim are also defendants, and according to the complaint, now work respectively at JP Morgan Chase and Fidelity Investments. Neither company immediately responded to requests for comment. So we'll see what ends up happening with this lawsuit. I don't really know if it's going to go anywhere. It probably will be settled out of court. Let's be real. Most of these labor law, lawsuits like this, they end up getting settled out of court because nobody wants to go through a fucking trial, right? And even something like this, $20 million to BlackRock is absolutely nothing. It is no money whatsoever. They can say, hey, we'll give you $10 million and you leave us alone, and the guy will probably take it at the end of the day. So I don't know if this is going to go to any sort of actual trial. I kind of hope it does, because I would love for this to get to a point where it enters discovery and we start getting all kinds of information on BlackRock. That would be exciting, but let's be real. They got more money to toss around than brains, and they're going to do everything they can to use their money to try to control the entire situation, because that's what they're used to doing. They're used to tossing their money around to control everything. So we'll see what happens, but I don't really expect much from this potential lawsuit, to be honest with you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.